It happened. Kisuke Urahara's Bankai. Okay, well, this is my first time. I'm gonna attempt to do a theory video on this. And I'm not gonna do a review because I was gonna be like, Kobo! But yeah, okay, so, anyways, if you haven't already heard, if you click on this video, then you already know chapter 663, oh no, 64, my bad, 664, The Gift, Kisuke Urahara's Bankai, was revealed. Well, yeah, it was revealed. And the name, it's got two names, well, the original name when it first came out, translation was Guayan Baraki Benihime Arahame, or Konon Baraki Benihime Arahame. Translated in English, the Inquisition of the Crimson Princess of the Doors of Avalokitesvara, something like that. Now, what I want to do is I just want to just talk about the chapters. I want more theory. I want to go in depth because this name, this Baraki Benihime Arahame, when it translates in English, the Doors of Aval, the Avalokitesvara, I don't even know how to say it. I want to look into that, and I did some research. For the first time ever, I did some research, and I found out that that name, the Doors of Aval, and even Kanon, okay, we're gonna call it Doors of Aval for now, but yeah, the Doors of Aval and Kanon, it originates from Buddhism. So, if you don't already know, Bleach is very influenced by Buddhism. There's even a video by Tika 101. Just go check it out if you haven't. It's a really interesting video. But yeah, there's Bleach has it focuses on the 6 realms. You know how if you go Moon Society, Human World, the Hell versus one in one chapter, and then Beast Realm was mentioned with Konohamaru. But yeah, the Buddhism has those 6 realms. But anyway, so Buddhism is a big thing in Bleach. So when I saw that his name was in fact related to Buddhism, kind of feel that Kubo's trying to go with something like this. So I guess the beginning part, what you want to look at is you look at the Kanon, or the, I can't look at my notes, I can't even say the name, Guanyanin, or Guanyin, originates from the stories of the the ending part, the Avalokitesvara, which is called Aval, as I before called Aval. And what Aval is, well, first we'll do Aval. What Aval is it's a being that represents the Buddha. And what it is I watched a video, a 25-minute video. Maybe I'll link it in the description below. I watched the video, and what it is that people who are in trouble, or people who need something, they'll say the word, oh, praise Aval, they'll tell it Aval. And then what Aval will say them, say someone's about to get stabbed by a robber trying to kill him with a knife, they'll say, praise me, or oh, praise Aval, and that knife will shatter. Or for instance, say a woman wants to give birth to a baby boy, she will praise on, go to the temple and be, oh, praise old Aval, and then she'll give birth to a healthy living boy. Another instance with Aval in Buddhism is if a person needs guidance, the Aval will appear in front of them as a person that will help them change. So if the person needs a great king to help them change, Aval will represent himself as a great king. If they need a beautiful woman, like a wife, Aval will represent himself as a wife to help that person change. That's the story of Aval. So basically, from Aval, there's other kind of deities, and one of the deities is from the first part of Kisuke Bankai, the Kanon, or I think Kanon means Gore, I don't even know how to say it. Gore, we're gonna keep going Kanon. So Kanon is basically that part from Aval, that's things from Aval. And what that is basically it's the god of mercy, it's a mercy part. And Kanon has multiple legends to it. And one of the legends involves a princess. It's not Benihime, but a princess. Now, the legend that comes from Kanon, the goddess mercy, is the legend of Mariso-san. And what her story is that she's a form of Kanon, the goddess of mercy. Because goddess of mercy or god of mercy can be formed as a guy or a girl. So those are multiple legends. And this is the form one that I saw is she's a girl and she's a princess. Kisuke Bankai, the woman before her, appeared as a woman. So what it is that she is a princess and her father is a cruel king, and he wants her to marry we're not like a political man, become richer, and that man is cruel. They say he's cruel, he's doesn't care, that kind of stuff. He doesn't care about other people. He's cold-hearted, and she really does not want to marry this person because she won't be happy. She says she will marry him if the father can grant 3 misfortunes. Now this part I find really interesting. The first misfortune is that if a person goes into any person, it's not about her, we're talking about any person. If any person goes into marriage, the cruelness that comes with aging will disappear. So they won't grow old, that kind of stuff. The second misfortune is a person will ease. It's all about easiness. Like they will ease from the pain of illness. So there'll be no pain from illness. A lot like it's kind of like the opposite of asking like the poison. I don't know. It's weird. And the third one, which is probably like really interesting, is it will ease from the pain of death. So obviously the father can't grant these 3 misfortunes because I'm pretty sure it was meaning everybody, not just her. So basically what she said, she could not marry that man, and her father was pissed. The girl was like, get out, you are disowned from the family, get out. So basically what happens, she lived her life as a nun, and the father paid like the temple guardians or temple people, like workers there, to give the most cruelest like chores, and he basically made her life a living hell. And it goes on until he even tried to kill her through fire, and then through like the powers of Aval, she was able to burn out the fire with just her hands and not get any burns. But anyways, the story ends off with her being executed by her father, and there's many like conclusions, but like one that she lets herself die, and then when she goes to hell, she purifies hell, and she gets kicked out of hell because they don't want all of it to get purified. There's another story where like she consumes like a tiger, and basically how I want to go with this is because I feel Kisuke Bankai is gonna have some relevance to this, really important relevance. And one of the things that Kisuke mentioned when he first, when he first said to Chad or Benji that his Bankai cannot train Chad because it's not a Bankai for training, he also said that his spirit of Zanpakuto is not nice, and that his Benihime is not nice, and that really reflects the life of Maiko-san, the legend of Maiko-san, a part of the legend of Kanon. And it's really interesting because there's a lot of connections there. There's no Crimson Princess in Buddhism. I try to look, there's no reference to that. Crimson Princess is like a common kind of term. It's really, really interesting. Now, what I want to get into next is, from that, what are possibly Kisuke's powers. So, the legend of Masana, or Maiko-san, is the legend of Kanon, which is related to Aval. And I believe that story, the Princess of Maiko-san, is basically Kisuke Urahara's Bankai. And what I theorized that Kisuke's Bankai will foretell is basically at the end, one of the legends is that she dies and she possesses a white tiger and lives to bring peace and give mercy to all people in the village. And basically I feel that giant woman, because that woman does resemble a person who's worked in the temple, who's been through a heavy chore. She's not with any golden necklaces. She's a plain woman with a nice dress, and I feel that what she will do is she will possess Kisuke, physically possess Kisuke. We never had a Bankai like that, so it'd be something different. We don't know, we never had a Zanpakuto spirit possess a user, and I feel like that will unleash the full power, spirit oppression we've never seen before. And I think starting off, one of the simpler abilities was, I mentioned the story of Aval, where a guy is trying to stab someone, and you say, "Oh, praise Aval," and then the knife will shatter, and they'll be safe. I feel one of the simple abilities will be if Askin shoots off a bow, then that bow will break. That's one of the simpler abilities. And I think it goes even farther than that. I think that Kubo might relate to the 3 misfortunes: the one of ageness, the one the illness, and the one of death. I think death will be a major part in defeating Askin, because Kubo has mentioned Askin feeling like he doesn't know what death feels like. And I feel it won't be like a part thing like Shinsui's Bankai or Rose Bankai where they're like Act 1 or Part 2. It will be more like her abilities has 3 main sections, and maybe he'll combine both at the same time. And basically, like, what my theory of Ben Hime possessing Kisuke Urahara is, it explains why he isn't using his chat, because if he loses all confidence, he can't really train chat. And then I believe also with Aizen, the reason why he used against the Aizen fight that were around that he might have can't recognize who's foe, who's good, and he might have killed it off. And like the Aizen thing, like, it was a big threat, but obviously this Yuha is a bigger threat because they're in the Soul Palace. He's become the Soul King, and I feel that Urahara is like, Askin is someone not to be messed with, and he has to be defeated. Anyways, so that pretty much wraps up what I think. Urahara's Bankai, I really don't know where Kuba's going with this. I think that it's going to go with the 3 misfortunes. I heavily believe the 3 misfortunes are going to be a crucial role in some way. Some abilities Kuba's going to work it around with the death, the illness, and the ageness. And the age, ease the pain of all 3. Maybe it could be a combination of all 3. I don't know. Maybe I would think maybe like Kisuke, because he's immortal, and then Askin is immune to everything. I feel that because they're so like immunity and immortality, when they clash, they can't, like, who's gonna defeat who? Like, what's gonna work? I feel this is gonna be. I feel this is gonna be a tragic end for Kisuke and Askin. I feel something's gonna happen where, like, they release like their attacks and some like huge thing, and they both have to sacrifice themselves to defeat one another. And I feel they're both gonna. I feel Kisuke Urahara is gonna die in this fight, defeating Askin. Now, obviously, that's a really far stretch, but if you think about it, if this Urahara's Bankai makes him an immortal being, and Askin's already immunity to everything, they're both such like deities, kind of deity power, like godly powers, and they're both gonna clash. And I feel they're both just gonna die, and maybe in their death, relating back to Buddhism, they'll both reach like a middle path, or they'll both realize both their viewings are wrong, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Hype for Bleach. I don't know. Can't wait for the next chapter. If you have any other ideas, comment above. I mean, down low. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I tried my best not to go through like this theory stuff. But yeah, see you next time. Epic Guy setting out.